Leaders take off for granted, and they always do what they like. This so-called cabal, let me tell you, sir, from the security point of view, there is no cabal in Nigeria. If there is a cabal, no government can face them. You cannot face the oil sorcerers, the sorcerers of oil. You can't face them. Of course. The worst wizard of Wall Street, how can you face them? The Seven Sisters, how can you face, which government? Not Obama. Which government? You say you are facing cabal? You are gone. So you find that if they spend about 200 billion in 2010, how did it go to 1.3 billion in 2011? What is it? These are all fake figures. You see, fake figures. Their money are depleted. They need more money.
The reactions of Nigerians is based on so many factors. People are impoverished here and there. No food, no transport, no money, no good business for them to do. People are stealing, no job for our youths. And therefore, all we need to say, all we are saying is we should reject it. I don't have much to say. Let us tell our people, it is time for us to act for our people, our young ones. There should be nothing like burning houses, damaging cars. Let us all go out and protest, continuous protest.
The challenge that we have is a disconnected state, a state disconnected from the people, disconnected from society. And I think that we must see this as an opportunity to reconstruct our country. We should not be talking now about whether petrol costs 10 naira more, 30 naira more. It's really an opportunity to engage on how Nigeria is governed. We probably have heard different definitions of subsidy, no subsidy. In my view, what we have been discussing is a petrol tax. I refuse to use the term subsidy in this discussion. It's a petrol tax. What has happened is that for a variety of reasons, they've made the system so corrupt, so opaque, that the cost to government has continued to balloon. It's ballooned, and government has been paying for it, taking from one pocket, giving another pocket. It's gotten to a point where they want to then pass on that to the Nigerian citizen. And that's what people are saying is not acceptable. Now, if we want the tax to drive development, that's a wonderful idea. We need infrastructure, we need everything. But then, if you are going to tax people, there should be representation, there should be accountability on how these tax receipts are used to advance the good of everybody. And that has not been what has been on ground. Infrastructure, I think a government agency recently made the point that Nigeria has the second worst set of roads in the world. And you just go repeatedly on all the Millennium Development Goals, there has been no responsiveness to the needs of the Nigerian people. And so, if the Nigerian people are to make progress, you've got to raise your voice. And this process is an opportunity for Nigerians to raise their voice. But I think that it must seek more comprehensive discussion of what has led to this kind of situation. And this is why we must have a national conference of Nigerian peoples to discuss how we are structured, what it costs us to govern, and what people get away with. If Nigeria fails, the dignity of the black person for the next 100 years is gone. It is the single biggest collection of black people to change its place in history.
I have never seen any leader carry gun to defend himself in this country. But the same leader believes that the moment he cheats all of us, he will turn back to the poor man who carries the gun to start killing us to protect him. That is the issue. Our problem is unenlightenment. 99.1% of the Nigerian population are not enlightened. And you won't blame them. In a country that lives on 4-hour electricity supply, and in most cases 3 days you don't see lights, how do you get information? And to even buttress the issue, people are talking of corruption. Do you look at the structure of people who owns the media houses and the outlets? Who are they? You will be surprised, it's the same leaders. So the news, the enlightenment that is being passed across to Nigerians are doctored. Nigerians must wake up to their responsibilities. Not for us, but for the future of our children. Do they think all of us are asleep? About 2 years ago, we had $23 billion in our, it's not reserve, excess crude account, which was scrapped in December. And the 3 years of government has been sharing this money. Where is the money? Where is the infrastructure? This is 3.5 trillion naira for crying out loud at current rates. And you are talking about 1 trillion. You spent 3.5 trillion over 3 years. We didn't see anything. So is it a trillion that will make? Now, there was a mistake they made to start with. They said they borrowed $8 billion to fund subsidy. You borrowed. And you are now saying that you want to save money again to plow back. Is it that the money you borrowed is the one you want to save? Are we bigots for crying out loud? So what we have seen here is that there are people who have gathered together to justify what is not right.